Yeah, it was absolutely massive.
Became a lamb shank, apparently. Yeah. Good evening, hello, welcome to Club Call. Wednesday the 16th of July. There you go.
I love the way you're impressed by dates.
I like just keeping people up to date with the date. Know what I mean? It's a factual thing.
You'd have been great, Oz. You would have been great back in the day when you used to have like the weather and the traffic from an actual helicopter.
I wouldn't have gone in it though.
You'd have been tremendous.
No, I wouldn't have gone in it.
Honest to God.
No chance. Can't get me in there, mate. You can't get me in there.
It's raining and the traffic's heavy. Back to you, Frank.
I'd have been Frank. I wouldn't have been.
You'd have been Frank Boff.
I couldn't have been up in the helicopter, mate. I couldn't have been. I didn't know we were going with Frank Boff, to be honest. So you're just using Frank as like a nondescript person back in the studio.
No, there's never nondescript Frank.
You've gone
Frank Boff.
You've gone full zoned in on it. Good evening. Anyway, I apologise for that. I don't know what.
I don't know why you apologise.
What happened?
It's an entertainment show.
Was that entertaining?
I believe it was.
Okay, fair enough. This time next week, how excited will you be?
Don't get excited.
None.
Don't get excited till I'm on foreign soil.
Oh yeah, you don't like that. He doesn't get excited ever. But if there's a bit of there isn't. So he gets excited if there's a film coming out.
Am I watching it?
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that?
See, there you go, mate.
When are you actually going? Do you not have you booked your seat and all that?
I'll have to play by the ear of my actual job.
Well, not really.
I'll have to carve out
what time are you going? I can tell you now.
I have to carve out a window.
There's no window. Tell me what time you're going to go and watch it and I'll tell you whether you can. There's no window needing carving out. I can tell you it right now.
Something might come up.
No. Aren't you going at like midnight or something?
No.
I thought that's what you were telling me.
No, I don't think there's any midnight showing.
Definitely said that. When's it out, this film you want to watch? Thursday?
The Friday. It's out Thursday here.
Oh, so you're not even going to be ahead of the time.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I want to watch it in Times Square.
No.
I want to watch a film set in New York and I want to watch it in Times Square.
So it's coming out Friday in Times Square?
Yeah. Friday.
All right. Well, you can go and watch it any time. Between,
yeah, but still, I haven't.
No, you can watch it any time up until about 6, can't you? You've got to be back for 6 as we're going. Yeah. We've got something on. So you're all right. You're sorted. Job done. Don't have to worry. But I know you don't like the travelling and you just like to be there.
I like to be there. Yeah. If there was a machine that could just get you there,
mate,
I'd rather just have the machine.
Do that, wouldn't we?
You've got to get up. I mean, what time have we got to be at the airport?
Early.
Exactly.
Early.
So I've got to get there early, which means I'm tired. I can't sleep on planes. Doesn't matter how tired I am, I can't sleep on planes. Got to get there, and then it's the whole rigmarole of getting from the airport to the city, and then you feel like absolute Grimsby. And it's like, and then it's still 1 o'clock, and you still feel terrible. But if you go to sleep, then you mess all your times up. Exactly, because there's things to do.
We're going out.
New York, baby. So exactly, but
we're going to an event.
Not at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we're not.
No, well, I mean, we only land at 1, so
exactly. That'd be late.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll just have to try to go to sleep, won't you?
But do you know where I would feel up for being at the airport would be John Lennon Airport.
Would you?
Yeah.
You'd be all right.
I'd be all right.
Of course.
Because they're just magnificent.
John Lennon Airport.
They're just magnificent.
It's incredible.
They are magnificent.
That if we were going, I mean, we did try to sort John Lennon Airport out, didn't we? As in, hopefully going there. But it just didn't work out with.
See, says pop a Huel and you'll be grand.
Yeah, well, he's absolutely right. Don't forget, though, you've just talked about John Lennon.
Oh, yeah, like it was so good.
You've gone squared it. And this summer, you can fly with Liverpool John Lennon's Airport, newest airline to Turkey, as Sun Express operate 3 weekly flights from Merseyside to Antalya. So there you go. Fly direct on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays to Antalya's turquoise coast from Liverpool with favourable departure times and flights starting at just $59.99 one way. Book now at sunexpress.com. Go and do that. Liverpool John Lennon Airport, like I said, went the other week from there.
What a place.
It was fantastic, great experience. And when you come back, you might see a little bit of Toffee TV.
See, that's the other side of it. If we were going from there, I wouldn't have to be up so early. It's because I've got to be up early.
I mean, you still probably will have to be up.
No, but it doesn't feel as early. You could just roll me out of bed into JL.
How would you get there?
LA. You just pick me up.
No, I'm not picking you up, am I?
And then you just roll me in.
Kind of carpet like Cleopatra.
I ain't coming at you.
Why would you? Right, let's get on to the... I mean, we haven't even talked, but listen, pre-season, first game last night, 1-1. How do you think we did? Who impressed you? But we've got Alex on the line. It is a call show, so let's go on there. Alex, do that call. Alex, good evening. Are you there?
Is that working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, we can hear you. Go on, mate.
Alex.
How we doing,
good evening, mate.
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay, cool. Well, firstly, good news about the flights. I'll go get my Barnet done in Turkey, so thanks for that.
Nice.
Excellent.
I think, regarding yesterday, I thought the kit looked wicked. Nice to see that out in the go. I quite liked it. Blue socks, nice to see the blue socks back.
Nice.
And do you know what? I saw a lot of comments about it, and I thought, do you know what? Maybe we can just get off their backs. You know, they're just getting fit. You know, people say, "Oh, it's going to be another terrible season." I thought, do you know what? Just leave them alone. They're just getting fit. Half of them aren't even back. You know, just think, yeah. So I thought the coverage that you boys did was great, but just think, why read that stuff? Just let them get fit, let them get ready. But the reason for the call was, I'm seeing, you know, all the stuff that's going on in the market at the moment, like Morgan Gibbs-White, Alanga moving. It feels like the next week could be really important with maybe players that we're linked to, certain things around us happening that might not have been expected to happen, which could absolutely set the whole thing off. And it got me thinking about, when was the last window that we were really decisive in the market? And I don't know what you boys think, but it got me thinking back to, like, do you remember that Bashiri window where we went out and got like 3 number 10s inside about 4 hours of each other? And it was a bit nutty, but it was very decisive. It was like, right, we're going for this, we're getting these players. And obviously it was really exciting. But I just, be curious. I can imagine it must be really frustrating and very difficult for the recruitment team. And I know they've got a lot of stick in the past with some quite lazy, what feels like quite lazy scouting. But yeah, I just feel like, you hear a lot of links about players. I'm sure some of them are more difficult than others, like maybe that Luis at Juventus. But I just think, McAtee, we need to go and get him done now, because if Morgan Gibbs-White goes, all of a sudden the domino effect happens, and maybe Forest have money and have a need to, placate their fans, and all of a sudden McAtee might have been a, shoe-in for us, and we're kind of a bit complacent with it, and then all of a sudden Forest come in and just take it away. So yeah, I don't know about you boys, it just feels like the next week is like nice to get Timo Barry done, but it needs to be. I just feel the next couple of weeks we need to go and make some of the signs that we want, because not necessarily because we have to be in a rush, but maybe more just because with the merry-go-round of other clubs, we'll just lose out on our top priorities. And now that we're past the PSR nonsense, whatever, just get on with it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it's funny, isn't it? Because we are getting, what you just said is absolutely right. We're getting into the transfer window is always a drip. Always is a drip now. Whether people like it or not, we are not top of the food chain. We haven't been top of the food chain for a very long time. And I think there's a drip effect, and what you've got is, obviously, you've got players being bought primarily from outside the country. But what's happened in the last couple of weeks is, well, what it seems like is that there's obviously a little bit of talent moving around. Forest lost 1, potentially lose 2, even though they said Morgan Gibbs-White is staying. We'll see how that plays out. That could get messy. You got situations at Palace where you could have a couple of people who leave. And it does create that thing of a few clubs around us, or where we're trying to get to, will have money. Now, they're only getting money, or it feels like, like you've just said there, they have to make sure they move quickly, because their fan base will be upset because they've just sold a player. So they have to move quickly, and that might possibly get in the way of what we're trying to do. But Everton have just got to make sure, haven't we, that whatever our targets are and have been, we move for them as quickly as possible. But then there's the other situation of clubs in the same sort of way. There'll be players that other clubs we want, but we can't have yet because they're not available, because they haven't done their business yet. And it's just where we fit in. And it's just like, you know, I've just seen us, we're being linked with a winger from Atletico Madrid. So
Samuel Lino. Yeah,
so have they done their business? Have they done their business to bring the player in? That frees him up. Do you know what I mean? It's like I think that's where we are just right now. We don't want to be in that place. We want to be in a place of, we are either bringing younger players in that are available, or we can just go and get who we want. Sadly, that's not where we are at the moment. And as much, even with money sometimes, I don't know how much money Everton have got, but even with money being in a hole in your pocket, can you go and get those players? Could Everton rock into Forest now and say, we want Morgan Gibbs-White, we've got the money, we know what his clause is? Can we? Because he might turn around and go, no, well, most likely he's going to turn around and go, no, I want to play in the Champions League. I at least want to be in Europe, what Forest can offer me this year. And that's the obstacle, isn't it, that we face, is that Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and I've done theirs and will do more because they've got loads of money. Then come Arsenal, who are finding it a little bit more difficult, and that shows you. Manchester United, I mean, they're having a nightmare, aren't they? They're having a nightmare, and they're finding it really difficult. And this is a club that we have historically, our generation have known how big this club is, and yet they are massively struggling because they have been left behind. They weren't in the Club World Cup. Financially, they're so far behind. They're not talked about like other clubs are at the moment. So they're struggling, and it's just... It's almost like getting to that place, and you're right, I think the next week, as clubs pre-season kicks off, but also next week sort of goes into the next gear of where they all start their tours and want to start showing off players and want to get players bedded in. That's where you feel like Everton need to get that right winger in. I just hope that whoever Everton have been, who are after, is the same person they've been after all the while. Do you know what I mean? And they're not just going, oh, who's available right now? I really hope there's been a target that they're working on and have been working on and just chipping away on it. Obviously, we got our first target in Tino Barry, so that worked out. I'm just hoping the right winger's in the same place, but maybe it is a domino effect. Maybe Everton are waiting for a couple of deals to be done so we can go and get that player. But you're right, you do want, because obviously last night showed that the squad is a little bit thin. And when we go to America and we play 3 Premier League teams in a week, it's still pre-season, but there is also that element of sticking out your chest a little bit and going, look at us, look what we've brought in. And, you know, we've been playing against a couple of sides that have sold. Bournemouth have sold 2 or 3, haven't they? And West Ham have obviously sold their best player. And they'll be looking now to be bringing players in. And it's funny, isn't it? Because you sell a player and there's that, everyone's like, oh, you've had to sell a player. But then if you get to bring in the replacements and the good replacements and you're flashing the cash, everyone sort of forgets that you sold players. And Everton are in a different space because we have kept, obviously, Branthwaite. And we don't have that, maybe, the money, the spare change that they're showing. So it's just a really strange thing, isn't it? And because it's the first summer, no one knows where we are, and that's where I'm trying to keep my powder dry a little bit. But I just think if we can get that right winger in and we can get him in the next 10 days, I just think it would be so. Everyone would just feel so much better, because it is genuinely the only position in our team that we do not have a player for. And that's why it's so important.
Yeah, I just wonder with these type of players where, you know, Baz, you when we had the Piv on, he was very specific about the attributes of certain players, and I'm sure there's a lot of detail that goes into it. But then there's also so many other factors around: will they gel? Will they settle in well? You know, what's the attitude of the player? And it just got me thinking that there's not just one player, is there? You know, there might be players that we've brought in before. Off the top of my head, like someone like Yelovich, you're like, oh, I don't know if this will work out, and then it clicked, you know. And I think when you think of it like that, look, you might be right. Maybe there's a player that we really want that it's like, well, that's our number one target, but he'll only get sold if so and so gets that they buy a replacement, right? And so I get you have to play the domino effect there. But equally, like I said, maybe I'm getting a bit too starry gazed with McAtee, but I'm like, he's got a year left. He's young. He's just come off England under 21s.
Mm.
I know he's not that rapid right midfielder, but in a squad like you said, where we're light on the ground, he would immediately come in and be better than what we've already got. And you're like, where's the block there? Why are you not going for him? Because I'm sure there's good reason for it in terms of other clubs interested as well, and maybe a bit of agent stuff, and not going too early and too keen. But the players like Grealish and others, you leave them to the end of the window, right? When City need to offload them and they're not going to give them squad numbers and whatever. But like you said, we're going to the US. Surely there must be some calculation of the fact that if we get them now, we give them shirt numbers. It sells more shirts at this time, for US fans and things like that. I don't know if that type of
Or we
stuff
don't
comes
give them
into
share
it.
numbers.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, what's better? Just have the name on the back. That's even cooler
Yeah.
than having a number for sure, right? But yeah, I just when I start seeing this stuff going around, Everton have been linked to everyone, even when we didn't have any money. So that's not the point. But it's more like it just feels like this next week, maybe 10 days of the window, is going to be so fast with what's going on around us that you're like, if you want to get Tom Fellows, if you want to get McAtee, they're probably inverted commas easier transactions to go and do than Douglas Luiz or Grealish or other players like that, where there's going to be a lot of complication. Leave those to the end of the window. But yeah, that's the bit for me. I'm like, I just want to see some young, good technical capabilities, and yeah, like you said, right wing's obviously the obvious one, but yeah, it'd be great to see someone come in the next 7 days. Not just because you want it, but because, like you said, with how what's going on in the rest of it, you might just lose out on that player. So I hope Everton are gonna, have the money there and be decisive.
Yeah, I mean, this McAtee, according to all the noise around him, he's apparently spoken to Everton at the weekend, and he went off to Germany to speak to Frankfurt, I think, and Dortmund, and someone else. So if you're him or his agent, that's the right thing to do. It's easy to go. We're Evertonians, and we think our clubs, no one should really turn our club down. But if you're him, he might be looking to see what everyone's got to offer, mightn't he? The others are. Dortmund would be a great place for him to go, but if he wants to really stay in the public eye, so to speak, here, then the Premier League's where it's at.
Don't you think the terminology of like these transfers is going so weird now? There's so much because obviously, if the Morgan gives White thing proves, obviously, I mean, it didn't need proving, but it's been proved, hasn't it, that the agents talk to the clubs beforehand.
Yep.
Spurs know exactly what they need to do to get him. The player's already up for it. He's already sold his agent that clearly. They've put a bid in, and he was about to join Spurs, and Forest have put the kibosh on it. We're hearing the one yesterday with Liverpool, with Isaac. Isaac clearly has give Liverpool the nod there, I would think. To because the terminology, why would you allow that to get out publicly?
Arsenal done the same thing. Arsenal inquired about him.
Well, that's fine, but it's the terminology, isn't it? The terminology isn't we bid for him or we're bidding for him. It's almost this terminology now of like we've picked up the phone. It used to be an inquiry that never used to get out. It's like all these facets now of a transfer.
It depends who's pushing that though, doesn't it?
I generally feel that play.
If you go on Romano, it says this player is already agreed terms subject to the clubs talking to each other. It's like it's the most obvious. I mean, the way that they've done the Morgan Gibbs White stuff is laughable because you think if the agent knew what he was doing, he'd look in the contract and go, "This is confidential." So start the bidding at 50 and work your way up to wherever that is. But you have to do it cute. The fact they just came in and said, "By the way, here's 60 million. Can we get it done?" It's just. But
it is all this different. It is all this different kind of terminology now, isn't it? It's like, thinking about bidding, or it's all these things now that like. It's such a game of chess. Like Liverpool are going for a ticky today, so it's like. But they're like almost going, well, if you're not going to give him, we're going to take him off.
I was listening to the Redmen before, and whoever they had was saying that was Liverpool's plan. They wanted to.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a game. It's a game of chess now, isn't it? It's a game of chess. So Everton will speak to players, and then the player might get back to them, and it same thing happened with Liam Delap. We made it basically public that we spoke to him. And then he signed for Chelsea, and it's that thing of like he never came out and went, "I've rejected Everton." It's all those layers of players.
Oh, sure.
Players are speaking. So McAtee might have spoke to Everton, and McAtee might have already said, I don't want to sign for you. I want to go to Germany. This is my plan, to spend 2 years in Germany and come back to the Premier League. A little bit like we've seen other players do and get a higher move. There's so many of the, and that's what I'm saying. It's become more and more complicated. But for like us sitting back, it becomes far more. It used to just be your team had bid for this player and the club have either said yes or no, and if they say yes, you get them to speak to the player, and that's how it used to be. But now there's many layers. It's just getting ridiculous.
But did you not find it refreshing that David Moyes said we really like Delap and we're going to do our best, and it might not come to us? The fact he went to Chelsea, I actually that stuff with Verts, where City went, we don't think that's good value. It's like, no, he just wanted to go to Liverpool. He didn't want to come to you, so you didn't want to save face by saying it. I totally agree with you, but the other side to it is, I'm sure this happens, right? But we should be going to McAtee and saying, look, if you 5-year deal, and we're after 2 years there'll be a buyout clause of 60 million. No problem. We'll put some of these things in. They'll be disadvantaged. They'll be disadvantaging Everton, but we get it. We know where we are in the food chain. But you're gonna be the first player wearing number 8 at the new stadium. It's going to be high profile for you. You have 2 good seasons. Get yourself into the England squad. We get an increase in your salary, and in 2 years' time, we'll get you can go for 60 million, and we'll get a sell-on clause. Like, you put it into all the contracts. It might be bad for us, but if that's the only way of getting these players in, just do it. Because
do you know what? One thing I'd say though, mate, is at the end of the day, the players decide really. And if we could, for all we know, Everton have done their homework with McAtee and they've offered him everything he's looking for. But if he's still thinking, well, like Ped said, Germany looks a good route. We've just seen Joe Bellingham leave Sunderland, who were in the Premier League, to go to Dortmund, and he turned down, they reckon, 4 or 5 Premier League clubs, a La Liga club, and 2 in Italy, to go to Dortmund. So he had a lot of options. All we can do, and I'm with you, by the way, with certain things, get some stuff done, but all we can do really is put our best case forward. And clubs will do a value thing. See, I slightly differ with the City thing, with Wirtz, because City pulled out well before Liverpool had really gone for him, I think. And Madrid did the same. They were never paying what Liverpool were going to pay, because Liverpool obviously had his value. I don't mind the club going, and Everton have done it in the past. Or if you look at a player and go, I don't know, I like Douglas Luiz, there's others, don't get me wrong, and Juventus say we want 45 million, then I've got no issue with Everton going, we're not paying 45 million for a 27-year-old. It's not good value. As good a footballer as he is, we ain't paying it, and we move on. That's decisive, what we're all talking about, isn't it? That's being decisive. The big thing that I'm not struggling with, but the big thing that's frustrating me a little bit with this window is, as Ped said right at the start of this, that right-hand side, we do not have a starter there. And we've not had a starter there last season. We had Jack Harrison and we had Jesper Lindström, who neither of them are right wingers, neither. And we didn't have it. And now we're the middle of July and we still don't have a right winger. We need 2.
We haven't had a right winger since Andros Townsend.
No, he wasn't really he wasn't what I would class as a right
but you know what I mean.
But so therefore, that's why I'm a little bit, I'm not like fuming, but I am a little bit slightly disappointed that we haven't got on to that. Now it might be, for all I know, Nick Hammond is there going, listen, I'm so far down the line with 2 of them, but we haven't got there yet, so we just have to carry on, and I'm sure that's really what's happening. But we'll see. But it is a bit frustrating. See, if we had the right winger in, Everything else, I think, I'd be calm with and go, okay, well, got to let some things play out. But it's just that one, because we don't have that player on that side. That is a little bit frustrating for me so far.
Because if the club came out and said, look, we can't buy anyone until we sell it to someone, right? That's what you hear out of West Ham at the moment, for example. They had to sell Kudos so they can then go and get the players they want. Yeah, they've been pretty cute. Everton have been pretty cute in saying, well, yeah, we can go and buy players. Like, I don't see any of the players that we would want to buy contingent or dependent on whether we sell Beto, for example. To me, Beto's like, if Leeds want to come in and spend 35 million on Beto, happy days, off you go. Like, if they want to come in and pay 18 million with add-ons, we'll keep him. I don't think that's. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think that has any. You don't look at the existing squad of who might be interested to getting sold and go, well, if we wait a little bit longer, maybe Beto goes for that, and then we can go and fund that player. It feels that there should be enough to say, if these two players cost, let's say, 30, 35 million, which really is where we should be spending if we want to increase the quality of the squad, not just get bodies in. It just feels like we should be able to do it. And then towards the end of the window, if we get great offers for players like Beto, just using him as an example because it's the obvious one, then sell him, and we'll see. And maybe we bring Callum Wilson in, to scary as that might be for a season on performance. But yeah, look, I'd love us to build on the Barry thing, and continue that mold of young, exciting, highly technical players. And yeah, McAtee's the one. Obviously, there's a lot of noise about, and I'd just love to see him come in a number 8 shirt. It'd be brilliant.
No, it'd be a really good signing, but doesn't feel like it at the moment. I wouldn't be, but we'll wait and see.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Alex.
Cheers, Alex.
Mate.
Cool, mate. See you later.
Thanks, mate.
Bye. Danny Church says, I like Kubo, but don't think we have 50 plus million. Well, they've said 25 million for Kubo, so I don't know where the 50s come from there. Dan Parker says, very impressed with Clark last night. Got to be given a go in the US. But he probably will be, just for numbers, won't he? And we'll see whether or not he can perform against Premier League opposition if he does go out there. I think Saturday will be the one for him, won't it? If he's in that squad Saturday and he gets some minutes, it's up to him to kick on again.
Yeah, I think Everton will probably take most of them, won't they? I can't see any reason why Everton wouldn't take. I don't think there's any. Is there any under-21s games? Have we got any fixtures for the under-21s?
Aren't they playing Prescott Cables? And they're playing. Seen a couple of them confirmed a while ago, but I don't know when they are.
James, find out for us.
James, come on.
But even they can be like they can be under 18s more than anything else. They're just local games. At the end of the day, we can't leave ourselves short to go to America. And
no, you can get any under 21 game. Trialists can play in it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can put like under 18s.
15s can play the under 6. It can be anything, can't it?
So I think we will take a few, won't we, to the States, because it's important as well. Anyone who's got any kind of, you look at a player and you think there's an opportunity that he'll go on loan, should be going to America. They have to get that grounding, don't they, of what it's like to be part of a pre-season away. How are they away? How are they, representing Everton in a different country? They might not. I mean, a lot of them will have done these things before for the countries or whatever. But you just gotta see how they stick in there. They've normally been around other people of their age, then suddenly they're mixing it in these kind of events. That's and they're playing Premier League teams, and they have to step up, don't they? We see what they're like.
Just gotta hope that they can do the business when they're given that opportunity, isn't it? That's the big thing. Yeah. If you want the opportunity, if you get the opportunity, you got to go and deliver. Give the manager something to think about. It's the only way to do it, isn't it? If you're good enough, David Moyes will use you. Because you've got to. Any manager worth his salt will look and go, I've got this player here, and he's actually really good. I don't have to spend money.
But I did find it quite interesting that he didn't use everyone last night.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what
you
he
go
gives
back
you the
12
list.
months ago when we played Salford, second half, he did play it. He did sort of give everyone an opportunity. It's like different 11. And that was quite interesting that like, what, 4 or 5 of them didn't get off the bench last night, was it? So it wasn't mass changes, it was. I want to have a good look at everyone. And that strengthens the people who did get on their case a little bit more, doesn't it? And if I am a player with pace who can play in a wide position for Everton, or I'm a youngster, I'm thinking to myself now, when am I ever going to get a better chance? Because Tim Erebuna proved this last year. It's like he forced his way into the squad because of the lack of options and started the first Premier League game of the season. If I'm a young lad, I'm thinking, God, if I can step up, if I can go into Blackburn and I can show something, and you know I'm getting past people and I'm doing something, then who's to say that I go to America and then, you know, because of the heat and everything, you have to use these players. So suddenly people are going, wow, there's a little bit of a, you know, I remember all last pre-season. I remember people watching the games going, oh, that was drab. But you know who was a real bonus? Tim Erebuna was a real bonus. And the next minute he's in the team. He's starting Premier League games. That gives him the boost. And then he is part of the squad then, isn't he?
That's it. That's how you do it. That's all you can do, isn't it? Paul Hopley says, watch the Stephen Schumacher interview before, was excellent. Sounds like a great lad, very intelligent. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Don't know what, there's a little bit of talk about Beto leave. I don't think Beto's going anywhere. Steve P says, Baz, would you have Samuel Illing Jr. on loan with a buy option? As the second choice winger, he's going to leave Villa. He can play a few positions, can't he? Obviously, spent time at Juve. Possibly, yeah. He's quick, isn't he? So, possibly. Danny Church says Heath looked good and Armstrong played well, especially first half. Chloe Clemens says Isaac Heath looks better than Dwight McNeil. He looked bright, didn't he? Now, that's a case of those two lads did get on and did want to try to take their opportunity last night. So, they done brilliantly, the pair of them. And they might be two who are looking at maybe a loan.
Yeah,
for the season.
Yeah,
you know, if they've done all right, now they have to follow it up, of course. But they've done all right there. If they made John Doolan go, actually, we can get one of these on loan. I don't know whether. No, but you know what I mean. They're the kind of things. I don't know whether they go to League Two.
I have to. I mean, I think I do worry about Everton players going on loan to some of the standard we seem to send our players out. I do think it's a bit worrying. I don't care, you know. No Everton player for me, unless it's a goalkeeper, should be going to League Two, because you just.
But and not even at 18.
No, I just think. What are you saying? I mean, maybe you go League One and then the next season you go Championship. But people might correct me here, but I've never seen an Everton player go on loan to anywhere lower than the Championship and suddenly become a Premier League player.
No.
Just never happened. It's you know, Harrison Armstrong's gone to the Championship.
Yeah.
Ross Barkley went to the Championship. You know, Anthony Gordon went to the Championship. Osman going right back. The goalkeepers are slightly different. I get it, because you get it with shots all over the gaff. But I don't remember any Everton player having to go on loan to anywhere like that. So correct me if I'm wrong. I just can't think of any. I can't think of any. Branthwaite went to Middlesbrough and then went to PSV.
Blackburn as well.
Yeah, sorry, went to Blackburn. Sorry, I'm thinking of Middlesbrough because that's where he had the murder. That's where he had the murder, sorry. Yeah, I can't think of anyone, and we've been sending players to like the Scottish Championship and
trying to get
when you're trying to get when you're trying to get a mark of a player and people see them and they see them in the 21s and they build them up a little bit, and then the next minute without being disrespectful to any of those players, they're playing in League One or League Two, and then you go, well, why hasn't their career kicked on? It's because how
18 League One at 18 is not bad.
That's not bad at 18.
And then, like you say, but you've got to step into like the Championship then, and then you might be considered. But
Championship's good because it's the next step up. I'm not saying the under 21s is any. The under 21s is nowhere near as good a league as any of the proper leagues. It's not that, is it? It's supposed to be. You're thinking of like, you're not going. Well, what's the next thing up? You're going, what's the thing under the Premier League? That's got to be the thing, isn't it? Otherwise, you know. Have we still got Brad? Yeah. Go ahead, get Brad on.
Good evening, Brad. What do you want to say?
Evening, gents.
Hello, Brad.
Evening, mate.
You okay?
Yeah, not too
I
bad.
just finished work, so I don't know what you have been talking about.
You just crack on whatever you want to talk about.
Right. So, in regards to, obviously, the previous players we had last year on loan, out of them, who would you take back as squad fillers? Because in my mind, I'd say the likes of Mangala and Lindstrom over Jack Harrison, because I think Lindstrom sort of had them run of games where under Moyes I thought you were starting to see a bit something different from him.
Who is the Pastoni? I think both of them have got somewhat of like unfinished business, haven't they? Because Mangala got injured in the third game, of David Moyes' tenure, and Lindstrom got injured with 6 or 7 games to go. So there is a school of thought that both of them have got unfinished business. The only problem is Mangala's not going to be back till November, let's just say. So that's an issue on its own. And Lindstrom isn't a right winger, is he? Let's get it right. He wasn't a right winger. I do understand what you're saying, because he definitely sort of got the understanding of what the Premier League was, I think, under Sean Dyche, of like, you have to work hard and battle back and all that. Sort of forgot the creative side of stuff. Moyes does like him from previous when he was in Germany. Napoli will probably be giving him away for, like, I imagine, just go ahead, lad. Take whoever wants him, just go and play there. So I could see that happening in some respects, but I also don't think Moyes, I don't know, because I don't think Moyes will have missed anything about him, though, in terms of like, the only thing you're gaining is that familiarity rather than anything else. Of like, yeah, I know he's a good lad, blah blah blah, but there must be other players out there who've got the actual assets that we need. But I think he's a good player, but I don't think people are ever going to remember him as anything more than just someone who came on loan for Everton and did all right.
I was just after thinking like a pre-season under Moyes. Obviously, like, I wouldn't have him as a first teamer. Do you know what I mean? I'd have him like on the bench sort of thing. That's like the squad filler, because I think if you offered him a contract of coming back like a loan, he'd come back, wouldn't he? Whereas it's getting like, it's hard to sort of say to players, isn't it, that you're not going to be getting every game. Whereas I think he'd know that he was going to get games there, here and there. Whereas he's not going to get games at Napoli, is he?
No, not.
I've seen him getting linked with a move away as part of a deal for another player back to Germany, I think. Lindstrom. So
yeah, I could see that.
I can't see them sending him back here, to be honest with you. I think they'd want some money back for him now.
Yeah, I think that obviously the German league's a bit slower for him as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And they played him where he likes to play, which is sort of as an 8. Or not necessarily a 10, but they had 2 8s, and he was basically driving from a central area with the ball, where we just shoved him out on the wing because he could run a little bit, and we didn't have anyone. So, and Mangala, like Ped said, out for a while, so that'd be there'd be no real point there. You don't want to be taking loans.
I didn't realise that he was out till November, to be honest.
It's just ACL, wasn't it? So it's how quick you can get back and then get back up to speed, and then hopefully don't break down again. So he's there'll be others obviously we should be looking for, but the right side's the real issue.
Yeah, massively.
And I think the manager wants another central player. So the 2 areas you've said, I think, are where David Moyes is looking at. But
it definitely needs to be a bit more creativity in that midfield, isn't it?
Yeah,
100%.
It's got to be someone who can put the foot on it. They're all industrious players. They're all good. You know, there's some good players. There's a kind of Gay's amazing. We know he is at what he does. And, you know, Irabuna's got something. Definitely thought he was a bright spark last night. Harrison Armstrong, lots of potential. James Garner is a, you know, good squad player. He's got to step up. He's got really some good aspects to his game, James Garner, but he's not one who grabs the game at the moment. And
it's having goals, isn't it? It's having goals in the game. Well, because James Garner under Forest, he was scoring goals, really, and
and creating
set pieces. And it seems to me every time he comes to Everton, no one can score from a set piece.
No, it is weird. I mean, we've just done the sort of final word for the game last night, but we said in that, you know, the player who scored the most goals for Everton in that lineup last night was Michael Keane. You know, and then it was Dwight McNeil, and then it was Jared Brantwaite and Michalenko. So I know there was players out, don't get me wrong, but that starting 11 tells you everything you need to know when a centre-back, when 3 of your back 4 are your top scorers in the starting 11.
Yeah.
Forever. I mean, that tells you how sort of starved of goals and creativity we are. And that's where the money's got to go. And obviously Tierney Barry's come in, and that's good. That's really good. And now we've got to get the players who are now going to create for Tierney Barry and create for Beto. And if Yusuf stays, create for Yusuf, as well as add goals themselves.
I thought Yusuf played pretty well at holding the ball up.
He was all right. He looked a lot stronger last night than he has done, and he looked like he didn't mind getting into a little bit of a scrap, which he hasn't really done before.
Ass defenders, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. So he just needs games. The lad needs games. You know, he hasn't played, and the right thing to do with him would be to loan him out where he's gonna play. You know, maybe in Europe or something where he gets games every single week, or maybe the Championship to really kick him on. But we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. But yeah, interesting.
Nice one.
Nice
one, Brad. Nice one, Brad. Good call, mate. See you later. Ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra.
Just talking of loans, as it just popped in my head there. Obviously, there's news today that, and we spoke about it earlier on the Premier show, didn't we? News today that the Freaking Group have put together a new company, which is going to look after the clubs they already own, and they're looking to maybe buy an NHL team, or not buy an NHL team, get a new franchise into Houston, and that's going to be governed by a guy who was part of FSG and part of Clear Lake, who bought Chelsea. So they're obviously putting that buffer between them and the clubs. I think this has come out of, they've probably realised it's actually too big owning a Premier League club and owning a Serie A club. I think they've realised it's too big to just not. So what I mean by that is like, there needs to be some kind of professional outfit, sports outfit in between of what, like, that's what FSG already is, isn't it? They've already got Boston, that's their thing, and you see that with the City Sporting Group. You need people who are like dedicated day to day. The Freaking Groups don't have the expertise, and I think that's what they've probably found out in the last year and a half, is they just simply don't have that expertise in sports clubs. I think they showed that at Roma last year when they had their problems. Do you think that could lead into something that we spoke about in the last week or so, is maybe going to get another European club? Because talking about like a Schmidt, and we're talking about like what Chelsea are doing and what we're seeing other clubs doing, is, I believe, and I think this is something we spoke about before, is like, these really need to buy into like a French club or a Spanish club, obviously not one of the bigger ones, somewhere we can send a Chimiti, somewhere we can send these players, somewhere where Roma can send their players, because obviously they've got another team playing in France. It's the 3rd division, so that might complicate buying another club in France. But I think they need to get, if they want it, whether you agree with any of this, by the way, multi-clubs, it doesn't really matter. We are part of a multi-club system, but I think they need another one. And if they're going to do it properly with us and with Roma, I don't think it works where it's like, you buy a play for them and blah, blah, blah. I think you need another club that is below both of us in our standings and in expectations, where we can play, where we can send a Schmitty or Roma can send a player and know they're being looked after by the same people as part of the, what's it called, Prestige Sports?
Pursuit.
Okay, I thought I was going a bit thingy there. Step Brothers.
Pursuit.
Where it's all part of a bigger picture. Obviously, we've just seen Forest bring in Edu as the guy who looks after all of their teams. Michael Edwards didn't go back to Liverpool, went to FSG. Now, of course, his job is to have everything in place so that all the players end up at Liverpool, essentially, isn't it? Really, because they're big in football. If they bring by another club, which is what they're supposed to be doing, and of course, so do you think that's where maybe they might start looking? Because if they're gonna do it properly, it feels like they need another team.
Well, if they're going to do it properly, it just depends if they're going to do it properly. I mean, Burnley are trying to buy a Spaniel, aren't they? Or are buying a Spaniel.
Yeah.
You know, which is weird. So Burnley can do it.
Yeah.
Then why aren't we doing it?
Yeah.
You know, there's some... Listen, what would we feel like if someone owned Real Madrid and McPartland players at us? You might go... you know what I mean? You might go, that's amazing, or you might be like...
Yeah, but there's plenty of clubs in France and certainly in Spain who financially are struggling. And
might need it. If Espanyol are getting bought by Burnley...
Exactly. We're not talking about a team being dominated by Everton players or a team being dominated by Roma players. What we're saying is that if they've established this new buffer, and it's like sporting expertise who understands how to manage these things properly, then, you know, someone in the comments says just mentioned it as a feeder club. It's not a feeder club. It's a club that works off its own back. But if we need to send a player on loan somewhere, and we've got access to a club playing in La Liga, and we can send Schmitty to play in La Liga for a season. Or we could send one of our other younger players, or we could buy a player in from somewhere else and go, right, first year you're on loan there, and then you come into our Premier League club, and to a Premier League club, or the same with Roma, you go on loan there, and then you come here. And obviously it's not a case of it might be a case of that team goes, we need a right back, or we've got a boss right back, we can sell that boss right back, and then you park the next right back at us. I'm not saying supporters of that club are not going to be a little bit, might think, oh God, we're part of this, but there's a lot of clubs out there who are struggling. And
even in the second division in Spain, you've got Levante, they were in La Liga. Elche have been up. Oviedo, of course, been up there. Almeria, Granada.
But look at Girona.
Eon.
But look at Girona.
Malaga, Real Zaragoza. These are all.
But look at Girona. Girona came from nowhere a couple of seasons ago and finished in the top four and got Champions League. You know, under the guidance of being one of the City Group's clubs. You know, and City did park a player there, didn't he? And he done very well for them. And I'm sure Girona, and it's not like City are always parking players there, but it helped. Now, again, if you can't beat them, join them.
I'd do it because I'd be looking to try and develop players there for Everton to buy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Their best player, go and buy him for us.
Yeah.
They get money, we get a good player. Schmitty would be ideal. Tim Abunam would be ideal, wouldn't he? If you look and go, maybe Harrison Armstrong, if you go, he's done really well there. What about playing in La Liga or La Liga?
Or even if you've seen might be a really good up and coming Spanish player, and you go, right, well, we're buying him and we'll move him to that club. He might play in the second division and we'll move him to that club and they're playing the first division. And the next thing is he's going to come to Everton. And that's how you do it, isn't it? You know, that's what you have to do now.
There's some clubs in La Liga too, though, that are still big clubs, and you could buy them, and with the idea to get them back into La Liga. I mean, I've just said a few of them. The Real Zaragoza.
We're at Deportivo La Coruña.
They're in.
Yeah, I want them then.
Yeah, go and get them.
Get Bebeto.
Get Bebeto. Get them all. Hulk was there, wasn't Hulk there? Was he?
Remember when they were boss?
They were boss.
Remember when they were boss? And it's just a boss word to say, team to say. Deportivo La Coruña.
Yeah, get them in.
James doesn't even know what we're talking about.
No,
He thinks
I don't think
that's a
cares,
made-up
but
name,
still.
Pez.
Because Toffee are available, aren't they? Weren't Liverpool linked with them?
Toffee, yeah, because they're a Madrid club, aren't they? They're on the outskirts of Madrid.
They're available. You've got your own Alaves. Remember Alaves? Awesome. They're back up there.
Got to the
final. Yeah. Osasuna, all of these, Vallecano, these are there, but there's a lot of sort of bigger clubs.
See, Malaga to be sound, because you're just straight in on the plane.
I know, but what about Las Palmas? I've just been to their ground.
Fair play.
They got relegated, so they're now back in the second division. Buy them and bring them back up.
I know he's got a team. Ibiza. Or Ibiza.
It's too low. It's like be like Can.
Build them up.
Well, can't he build Can up then?
Feels like an expensive area though.
Still build them up.
You know what I mean? Might be but it might be good for the owners.
Las Palmas get like 30,000. They just got relegated. Get them back up. Buy them and get them back up. The ground's boss. Get them back up.
Fair play.
Didn't Sam Mays play for them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Therefore, that's why they will. Sandro Ramirez plays for them.
There's a natural link.
Sandro Ramirez and Ollie McBurney were their front two. Get them. Go and buy them right now.
How did Ollie McBurney play in that heat?
He loves it. He's faster 50.
He's whiter than me.
Oh, I know. Well, he's purple. He goes in the sun to try and turn white. But he's there with he's got factor 50 all day. Ollie McBurney for days.
What about Tenerife?
Well, yeah, any of them. Tenerife. But Las Palmas have gone down, so you've got the chance to bring them back up. Their fans are going to love it.
Prestige worldwide, get involved.
Tim Irabunum and, Yusuf Chimiti, dream team for Las Palmas.
I think that's harsh on Tim.
No, I'm not. I want Tim to stay with the first. I'm just saying.
Harsh.
I was just saying.
Harry Tara.
Sort of like big H. No, Irabunum will be in our first team. He'll be in our first.
But
you just need the position for it.
I think that makes sense. It makes more sense than buying an NHL team. Okay, that ain't helping us, is it?
Let them buy it. Yeah, but aren't a Spaniel available for like 130 million?
Would they be goated?
Who knows? Yeah. Eddie might decide they are. Who knows? But listen, it'll be interesting. But if a Spaniel who are a La Liga team are going for 137 million or 140 million, whatever it is, then surely there's clubs in that second division who are still big clubs.
Just makes sense, though.
Wouldn't be that much for them. Yeah.
I don't think we could buy Real Sociedad. I don't think that's possible.
No.
I think I don't think they're struggling, are they? But the Spanish, like, you only have to look at Spain as in like that's the players they make, like the amount of like players who come through Spain, and obviously how well their men's team are doing, and how well their women's team are doing, and how well the ages are doing. They've obviously got something very right. And it's obviously not just coaching. It comes down to a lot of the conditions as well. Have the climate, being able to play more, being able to play on better pitches because it's not pissing down and all that kind of thing. It's not freezing all the time. Yeah. So there must be. But I just think if that's what they're looking at doing, I think unless they put more money into the French team and try and build. If you've already, that could be another way. If you're going to do it, we already own a French team. Let's put some money into them and get them up there. It can't be that hard to get a team through the French division, surely. With a bit of money. If you back them correctly and you say, right, we get this team. Because if you think about it, if they back that team, get them to the top division, the knock-on benefits that could have financially for it being a feeder team for a Premier League team and a Serie A team, then it must be, because I don't know, what have they done? Have they done anything with that team?
I don't know. I haven't really heard anything.
Exactly, yeah. They don't seem. It seems to just be a nice thing for them, like the first one they had. I don't know, but you think if they backed them and got them to a place where they could start accepting our players and Roma's players and other players who are going to come into Roma and Everton, that would make sense. And we know France is such a fertile place for youth development as well.
No, it's a good. Do like someone's just said there. Do it. Buy it. Yeah, Crimson VRS, buy a team, make a documentary on building them up and getting them to their top division, profit. I watched the Como one a few years ago and they're obviously in Serie A now and flying, aren't they? So go and do it. Go and do it. Get loads. Lots of different things and obviously lots of different income streams then as well. Everton Viking says Clark was good last night, quick feet. Thought Beto did his job, but I think the Blackburn game will have more intensity and tactical play to it. Irabunen was decent. Like the look of all the players in the first team. Looked like all of the players in the first team have packed on some muscle. Maybe an instruction from Moyes in the off-season. Would keep Clark and the other lad who came on, Heath, for the trip to the US. Sure they would. Mike Raff says Accrington's keeper was the best player on the pitch. Everton Vikings said, I know he doesn't like doing it, but it'd be really nice to get an interview with Moyes where he gave the state of play. I think it'll speak to the fans. He wouldn't do that though, Moyes, would he? Joey Cullinan says, would you both be happy if at the end of the window our 3 strikers are Barry, Beto and Chimiti as the 3rd? Or do you think we need a 4th because of the striking injury issues we had?
No, I'd like Chimiti to go on loan and it to be somebody else.
Get the games.
If I'm honest.
David Eel says New York in the summer. One film I think of is Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Absolutely. And the game was amazing.
The Frogs are back. Lou, Mendoza and Sog. The Frogs
It's not at our end.
No, the Frogs are back.
Aye.
David and someone said the memory of Degsy lives on. Not a G, Degsy was. Boss money. David Eel says Branthwaite agreed terms at United last year. Enough said. According to Mark Aldridge, yeah. Chris Byrne spoke for a while. Says, evening lads, been a while since I've been able to check in. Hope you both doing well. Very good, Chris. Hope you are too. Lou says, not enthused with the Samuel Lino links. He plays off the left predominantly for starters. He's not quick enough for me. We need a blistering right winger. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a link that's out there, isn't it? I don't mind Samuel Lino at all. I think he's he's a decent player.
Is he good on the floor?
On the Lino, he's good. On the carpet is where you want to know whether he's any good. Yeah, it's only a link, isn't it? Just that's the way it is, isn't it? You only get linked with all sorts. Ashton Parker says El Hadji Malik Chief gone to West Ham, big miss. Yeah, but we weren't going to pay 20-odd million for a left-back, were we?
No.
Did you know we said the team he's most looking forward to playing against is Everton? So there you go.
What a guy.
Yeah. It's obviously get him. SB says invest in a team from Portugal.
Yeah. It's another one.
And then just sell all players for it.
Used to be the direct link, didn't it, to South America? It was always Portugal.
Always, yeah. Why not? So, yeah. Blackburn next at the weekend. Looking to see it up a little bit from last night. And do you think it will be? Well, have to be, because the opposition's better.
Yeah, I think it'll probably go up another level, won't it? Players will be getting where. I mean, physically it'll go up a level, won't it? Physically they'll be stronger. So physically you have to put more into it, and that's the whole point of pre-season. Be physically stronger, be fitter, get to other levels, and start. At some point, which was forgotten last year, you introduced tactics. Didn't really happen last year.
No.
But we'll see. Who is typing in my ears?
And what's...
Someone is typing in my ears.
James not even letting us know anyone was there.
I just heard typing in my ears.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, well, if there's someone there, let's do it. Who is it? It's Big Glenn.
Oh, it's Glenn.
Big Glenn Watson. Good evening, Glenn. What do you want to say?
Mr. Big and Sassy, Mr. Bassy Cassie, how are you doing?
I'm not bad at all. All the better for speaking to you, mate.
And with you, of course, P. McP with his brown leather Hackett wash bag. How are you doing?
It's true. It's true. Don't slag it off.
I don't think he slagged it off.
Feels like
he didn't slag it off.
There you go.
You've always if you haven't got a brown leather wash bag to casually stroll into the wash bag facilities, then are you even a human being?
Well, you're quite clearly a human being, but just because you haven't got what you are. But that's fine. What do you want to say, Glenn?
Got a few questions on the illustrious return of David Moyes. Obviously, it's taken us years, but we've replaced David Moyes with David Moyes. I wanted to understand from your point of view. I know we've kind of covered this in a couple of club calls, but what do you think he is bringing back that you're really excited about? And then from each of you, what do you think is new about David Moyes that we didn't see from him in his previous time at Everton?
I think he's a lot calmer. I think he's a lot just generally. I mean, he was a lot. I mean, maybe that was false because it was like, I don't know. But he's definitely calmer. Whether he'll be sort of calmer now that the actual pressure start. I know it's silly to say that, you know, where we were when he came in wasn't pressure, but it got dealt with quite quickly. I think there's definitely a different kind of pressure now. Will he have that calmness about him? Probably because of age. I imagine he will have that calmness about him, but he's definitely calmer. So we'll see how that manifests itself. I do want to see him give a good old-fashioned bollocking to somebody, even if it's the crowd. It'd be nice.
That it, you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Waiting for you to take over.
What are you excited by? There's 2 questions.
I was letting you.
Oh, okay.
Letting you jump in.
No, I think Ped's right. He is calmer, Glenn. He seems it anyway. But we're in a different zone now, aren't we? He come in and he done the job. Got it done very quickly, by the way. Moved us away from any sort of danger, and then started turning the focus to this season now. The excitement, what am I excited by? Well, I'm excited by how he develops the team from here, because he totally changed the team when he came in, as in what it was doing, not personnel wise, and what it was doing, and we saw all the big uplift that we got. Now, can he take it on? I believe he can. He's done it with West Ham, he's done it with Everton before. He's took it on, and we'll see where we go from there. It seems like Tierno Barry was the main target. Obviously, the lap was there, but the lap, that was it. I think that was Everton just seeing a great opportunity to try and get a good player in. He went to West Ham, but after that, it was Tierno Barry, wasn't it? And Everton got him. So I want to see what he does now in terms of wide players, where there's a big gaping hole. Can he fix it? And what he brings in, and then the standards. He's brought the standards back. Where can Everton go from here? For me, that's the big thing. Where do Everton go from here? Now, we've been playing chaotic football for years, it seems, and the last few years have been a mess, absolute mess, till David Moyes come back in. You know, even the season before, we went for nearly 5 months without winning a game, which is just crazy when you think about it. So I'm hoping that, and I'm confident that he'll get Everton on the right foot again this season, and will be more steady. And we've achieved more points than we did last season, and that makes me excited, more excited than I've seen. But I want to know, and I want to see when the end of the window comes, if he's delivered on what he said he wanted to deliver on, and that is bringing in more quality to Everton football.
He did set his own stall, didn't he? He put it out there saying, you know, better players and stuff like that. Will he be able to back that up? Certainly, as he's not got many limitations in many ways. The money is there to buy players. I expect that he thought he'd be able to buy. Okay, I don't think he ever thought he'd have the money, the riches to go and buy or to compete with the very, very top clubs. But he probably thought he had the money to get the players what we need. So,
and if you go,
that'll be interesting.
Well, if you go through it, Tierno Barry's really highly rated. He's got him in. Is he better than Dom? We'll see. We'll see. Last season he was better than Dom if he just varied the goals and everything. So we'll see whether he kicks on. Ideally, he'll be better than Beto and he'll be better than Chimity, and then you go, well done. Mark Travers, better than João Virginia and Begovic, I'd say yeah, because he's played Premier League games and he's really good at Middlesbrough.
But apparently the reason he brought him in because he wanted a goalkeeper who was hungry to take the number 1 place and maybe felt that João Virginia maybe just was going through the motions a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe João Virginia didn't believe he could get it either, and that's a big thing. So if you on the 3, Charlie Alcaraz done well for us. We all want him to stay. I think he proved again last night in patches that you can see what he's got, and he improves us. So therefore, Glenn, it's that bit now, taking that quality up. He said he was going to do it, and that's what he wanted to do. We'll know on September the 1st whether he's been able to do it, but it's the players he's brought in permanently, and we've got Branthwaite as well, of course.
Can I push you both for a number of how many more players do you think we need to get in by that September deadline for you
6.
to be comfortable?
6, yeah, 6.
So
I said 8, didn't I? I said 8 at the end of the season. We've got 3 in, so it's another. I think he wants 6 more at least.
I mean that's a big change in the squad. A lot of players that have never played for Moyes, a lot of players that have never played with any members of this squad, maybe. Have you got a concern about that huge change in squad, and if Moyes is going to be able to get some cohesion going into the season, or do you reckon over a season are you very confident with the quality that he will be able to get more points?
Yeah, because it isn't 6 starters. There's no way to bring in 6 starters in. There's just no chance. So if you look at it, my big concern at the minute is there's no right-sided player, and we need 2. I'm adamant in that we need 2. And I'd get Tom Fellows would be my easy win. That'd be done, big tick, job done, and go and get a Kubo or someone like that who's going to get fans on the edge of the seat. Someone like that. Once at Bakayoko, I thought he was an opportunity, but if he's going to Leipzig, fair play. Them kind of players who are going to change it. But Kubo, between 25 and 30 million, Tom Fellows for 12 apparently, then that's too good an opportunity to miss for those 2. A centre midfield player he wants, and then you're talking a backups then, aren't you? So I think if you look at it like that, he's only looking really probably at 2 more starters. That isn't a huge change. He's still got the same defence as what we had last season, which was very good, by the way. Midfield, they still have a Drisher in there, you know, and if he was to bring a Douglas Luiz in, someone like them, I'm not saying we'll get him, but someone like that, he's intelligent and good enough to go in that midfield without disrupting anything. And then a right winger. Beto will start the season as the striker, so Tierno Barry, unless Tierno Barry looks really good and forces his way in. Everyone else, Glenn, you'll probably still have 8/9 of the first team that played last season at the start. And then you've got other players then, because let's be honest, he's going to end up with at least 3 loan players, I think. So they'll be ones for the squad.
I think right now, I'd say to start the first game of the season, there's 2 positions that anyone could walk into, and that's right wing, and that's one of the midfield slots.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. I think we could get away. The goalkeeper, the back 4, they're all in place. Left midfielder's in place. Adesanya Gay's in place. You could play Carlos Alcaraz and you play Beto. That leaves one other place, which is at the moment James Garner's place, and the right wing, where we have absolutely no one. So I think there's 2 positions.
Yeah.
That's only 2 positions on day 2. On day 1, I think that could be filled. Everybody else can come in slowly, and that's Tierno Barry as well. So, and we often see teams grow over seasons.
Yeah.
The team on your first game of the season doesn't have to be the team that finished at the last game of the season, and often it very much isn't. So, I think just getting those players in is one thing, but I think just definitely, I can't be repeated enough times. Right wing is something that just circa 2021. The right wing is screaming out for a player to go there.
If you look, Glenn, at like last night, that's the biggest indication they need 6. there was no one. There was no one. And them kids, Isaac Heath and Justin Clark were excellent. They were a real breath of fresh air last night. But the 2 very young players who have got to grow. So looking at them and going, they'll be a great for the squad, that might be a little bit of a step too far. But if we say 6 players here right now on top of what we've got, gives us 2 right wingers, takes it to 4. Another centre mid takes it to 3. He's looking at a left back. Reguilon would be a good one. He's free, but we'll see. That takes it to 2. There's a belief he wants 2 centre midfielders. So if that was the case, that'd be 1. And then you're just looking at either another striker, and then Timothy can go on loan, or the right back that Kenny Tete would have been. So if you look at it like that, them numbers come right down very quickly. It's not that much of a stretch, 6 players. And if Everton were to get 3, we have 4 loans last season.
Yeah.
Didn't we? So why wouldn't we have 4 loans this season? We can have 2 Premier League loans, 6 international loans. Why wouldn't we have 4 loan players this season, or 3 loan players? That means we're bringing 3, and Reguilon's free. So that means that could be another one. So and then you're only buying 2, which is a centre mid and a right winger. Yeah. So if you look at it like that and break it down like that, and then that probably still would only give Everton about 22, 23 senior players. Then does Harrison Armstrong stay? You know what I mean? So if you actually look at the numbers, 6 players isn't that much when you add loans in and a possible free transfer as well, really.
Yeah, maybe
that's
an extra goalkeeper, so we can have 2 goalkeepers.
Maybe, he could be
on
one.
the bench, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, he could be one, couldn't he? A number 3 keeper could. I mean, there's a report today saying Everton are going to let Harry Tyler go for $500,000. So I don't know whether that's real or not. So yeah, maybe another goalie would be part of that 6, and then you say, no, there's 5 now. And so probably what I'm trying to say is to get to the 6 that we're sort of thinking, it doesn't take much to get to that number. Do you know what I mean? When you start adding a couple of and we've still got, what are we in? We've still got 6, 7 weeks left of the window. So, and I believe if he brought in a right winger before America, and then they brought in someone while we were in America, he plays in the middle of the park, the others can be done towards the end of that window. Yeah. With loans and with seeing, because don't forget, sometimes a Jack, we've said this all along, and I'm not saying he'll come to Everton, but somebody like a Jack Grealish or a Richarlison, they might be ones that are done near the end of the window when their clubs are going, no bites here at all. And Everton will take.
But when City go back to pre-season, I have no idea when that is.
Yeah.
But when they go back to City pre-season and he's there on day 1, he'll be told, won't he? He'll be told. He'll be doing his own private training at the moment, or but when they go back, they'll find him a club, and that's the thing.
So it's those ones that, I'm not saying that's right or Everton will do that, by the way. I'm just saying that them kind of deals will be there to be done, and then they're available all over. We talked about Lindstrom, didn't we? And we talked about Brien came in last day, didn't he? And Mangala came in August. These deals are there to be done. And that, if Everton used the low market and went 2 from abroad, 2 from the Prem, that's only buying another 2, and there's your 6. It doesn't take much to get there, does it? So
one last question, because I know Tinks is waiting patiently to come on. But the thing that eluded Moyes and hit the rubber stamp of his time at Everton last time was silverware, right? So what does Moyes need to achieve this time at Everton for you to look back and be like, he was the man for the job? And how quickly does he need to win a trophy? Sorry, that's a bit loaded, but
the winning a trophy, what can you say? No Everton manager's delivered it in 30 years, so I wouldn't put it on. We've had Carlo Ancelotti, won numerous Champions League. We've had Rafa Benitez has won a Champions League. We've had David Moyes being excellent. We've had all sorts, so I wouldn't put anything on Moyes about winning a trophy. Love him to do it. Has he got the ability to? All depends on players. I think he's won a trophy in his career, so he has got the ability to deliver one, but I wouldn't put that on him. What I'm looking at with David Moyes is progression. If David Moyes gets Everton into the Conference League next season or the season after, that's progression. He took a club that was falling apart, a manager who'd made it very difficult to even want to be interested in our football club, and he's flipped it to a team that's in Europe. If he got there, in Europe, then I would, and improved us, I'd say now the goal. He was absolutely the right man to take that job on. Of course he's the right man, because we were broken, Glenn. Now he's got to follow it up this year, don't get me wrong, and that's why I'm saying it'll be really interesting come the end of the window to see, has he been able to deliver on, we need quality. and that's where he wants. But if he puts Everton into a European competition, Ped, surely that's where we're looking and going.
Yeah.
He's absolutely the right man for the job.
Football is just changing so quickly. It's just evolving so quickly. These, Chelsea have what they've done in the last 2 years to the transfer market and this World Club Championship. We had a chat yesterday off air. It's so demoralising to see what. To me, I think that's going to become the Super League. I think that's going to become the de facto Super League. They're going to try and play it every 2 years. No one's going to be everyone's going to want to be part of it. And it's how you keep up with that and what your expectations are. And I do feel sorry for clubs in a way now that I've got expectations and maybe don't have the deep pockets sort of, because we've just been having a conversation about feeder clubs and all that, and I've seen a couple of things in the comments. Someone just basically called us idiots for implying what we've just implied, but how do you do it? How do you do it now? Everyone's got money. Everyone's got money. Everyone's owned by a billionaire. Even this week, Brentford are getting new investors in them. Everyone's getting money into them. Forest owner is worth billions. Villa owner billions. Newcastle's a country. City's a country. Everyone's got deep pockets. Chelsea's the owners of Chelsea probably don't even know they're the owners of Chelsea. The hedge funds with so much money on money. Man City getting $1 billion over 10 years for a kit deal. Chelsea getting 100 million a year for a shirt sponsor. How do we keep up? Well, we have to at least try and be competitive, and that's by the freaking group. If they really believe this, have to do what other clubs are doing, which is buy clubs which can facilitate your players. So it's really difficult. To answer your question, Glenn, is we have to somehow get back into Europe. And if people are turning the nose up of the Conference League, then they're mad, in my opinion. They're absolutely mad, because there's now a school of thought for many clubs, I would imagine, is, well, if you can get into the Conference League and win it, and then you can get into the Europa League via that, and then you have an outside chance of winning that, then you can get into the Champions League, and that might be easier than getting in the top 4 or 5 in this country, because it's going to become an arms race. Talking to people last week about 15 and 16-year-olds getting taken from their clubs by Chelsea and Man City, and them stockpiling, and they don't care. They are stopping somebody else getting the talent, and they don't care what happens to the talent, and they're sending them out. It is just going to become. It's going to become crazy. It has become crazy. 7-year contracts, 8-year contracts. It's gone mad, and I do feel sorry for clubs like Everton who are how do we compete? Where do we start? Palace getting winning a trophy and then seeing something getting taken away from them because of a clerical error, and it's just what is going on? That would never have happened to a Liverpool. It would never happen to a City. We know it wouldn't, because they're getting slaps on the wrist. Chelsea and City for going miles over spends. Man City's 115 charges. What's going on? But Palace get a slap on the wrist for a clerical error. Get kicked out of a European competition to another European competition, because it's so unfair, it's so unequal. But instead of us sitting here complaining, we have to do something about it. We have to get the wheels in motion. So for Everton, we just have to keep our heads above water, stay there, and then start chipping away. And hope that, because Bournemouth do sell their players, and because Brentford do sell their players, that we can try and get above them, because maybe there isn't that onus to have to sell our players, and we can keep Branthwaite for a year or two, whereas they maybe can't do that, and that's how we chip away, and that's how we get to hopefully getting a European spot. That's got to be the ambition first of all. The cup you'll never know with the cup, can you? Because you'll never know how things fall for you ever. You could get lucky and get teams in every round, and then when you get to a final and you play City look disjointed and they haven't got their best player, and their other best players just come back from injury, and they're lucky on the day the goalkeeper doesn't get sent off for smashing someone outside the box. And there's so much luck involved in winning a cup competition. But I think for the league, you've got to have that plan in place, and hopefully Everton have started the plan.
Done. Nonsense, mate, what you're saying, chatting shite, behave yourself, mate. Absolute nonsense there. The freaking group don't give a shit. The multi-club, they buy clubs. It's got nothing to do with whether they can buy a winger or not. People don't understand.
Yeah. There you go. So to summarise my original question, Moyes has brought back the standards.
Yeah, there you go.
He's hopefully going to continue to bring the quality into the squad, and hopefully take us back into Europe.
There you go, mate.
On top of that, hopefully Pep McPartland is going to get some more kids' t-shirt on the Toffee TV club shop.
It's out of my hands, mate. It's out of my hands.
We keep putting the pressure on, mate.
We're just putting the pressure on, and hopefully soon, mate.
There you go.
That's all we can do.
I'll let Tinks get on, or maybe you want to keep it for next week. But anyway,
mate.
Thanks very much.
Nice
all
one,
right,
mate.
cheers, Glenn.
Bye-bye.
And you, ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra.
Go on, get Tinks on dead quick. Hello, Tinks.
All right, lads. You okay?
Go on, mate. Go on.
All right. I'll try and make this quick for you because I know you've got homes to go to.
Some might say.
I want to talk to you about the fans.
Yeah.
It's a great show that you've got, and the way that you do it is fantastic because you get fans from all around the world to interact with you. I think it's brilliant. And over the last 5 years of an absolute car crash Everton have been through, and the fans have pulled us through the mediocrity and kept the club up.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, Baz, I'll ask you this one, because you're around the same age as me, even though I look a bit older, because I've had a harder paper round and used to deliver Hobart's bread at the same time. Have you ever known the fans to be as passionate as what they are now compared to like in the 80s when we seen us win trophies?
That's a hard one. The fans are unbelievable. In the 80s, see, as a kid, you can't sort of see everyone else, if you know what I mean. You're just in your own thing, aren't you? You're in your own world, and
you're young and you're naive.
Yeah, and when Everton started winning, and I'm at school, I just thought that was life. Everton won everything. That was it. You know, this was going on forever. We were just going to be a team that won leagues all the time, and little did I know that wasn't going to be the case. But there's definitely been I don't know if it is passion, because don't forget, in the 80s, fans were passionate because fans were bloody throwing cushions and writing all sorts and turning up in the numbers and not turning up. What I would say now is the fans, the way Everton have grown, they've had to endure more, and we've had a few real shakes, haven't we? There's like Wimbledon nearly going down, and Coventry, and obviously we've just recently had Palace and Bournemouth, and that sort of renewed it. But because football is everywhere now, I feel like people are consumed more by it.
Does it come down to evidence? The evidence of what the fan base is doing and can do, and because what I mean by that is there's just footage all the time. There's footage of everything we've all done. We all leave a trail. You ringing up this phone line now will leave a trail of your passion for this football club. You might have rung up a radio station whenever. You could ring a radio station today and there would be no evidence that you rung up unless you said something really clever that they would put on YouTube. There's videos, we spoke about it earlier. There's a pre-season game last night where it was streamed. Now I remember pre-season in the 90s when Everton were going on tours all over Europe, but you barely heard a word about it, and you go, oh, Everton played this game and this against blah blah blah, and it was like they played 45 minutes against this team and 45. Never saw. There's never any footage of it. If I feel like there's just so much evidence now of how passionate we are as a fan base, because it leaves evidence behind. It leaves a trail behind of our passion, and also because of social media, we can get together. We can form the 1878s and have parades and pyro and all that. And I just think there's more evidence. And yet I look back to pictures of, and my own dad's pictures of Rotterdam, and I see all the same passion, but there's just no evidence, no collective evidence. There's no like news reports of it. And I imagine it was the same in the 60s, but then we have a 60s picture of Everton fans watching Muhammad Ali train, and it's like that's your only evidence of that, or Paul McCartney walking to the 68 final, and that's your evidence, isn't it? Whereas now we just have so much more is not just Everton but everybody else, and it just feels like football 24/7. We have a channel to prove that. It's just like it becomes all too consuming. Everyone hangs off everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And you know, I was going to ask you about, well, I was going to ask Baz about the Bayern Munich game, as we were both there. Not together, obviously, but we were both there.
Well, you might have been.
And you know, the pyro's going off now outside Goodison Park and everything else and whatever else. Could you imagine if the pyros were out in 85?
I know. Yeah, they've been bedlam.
You'd need to have worked on a ship.
Down County Road.
Yeah. Oh, if they've been bedlam, I mean.
The station and, you know, vice versa. So.
Cuban to get in that game.
Crazy. The fans, because I think the fans have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that go away.
Yeah.
Where it's been absolute dire.
Yeah.
I remember.
And they need applauding.
No,
you know,
listen. I remember going. Sel told this story before. I remember going to Goodison for the Wimbledon game, and I think that changed a lot for everyone. But I remember getting there and remember like someone saying to me, you know, I was a kid, but I remember someone saying to me, "We better get there early." And you're like, "Do you think?" You're like, "Yeah, just to make sure." And then you get to the Gladys Street, and it's just.
Bedlam.
There's just bedlam, and it's absolutely bedlam. And lucky we got in a queue and we got in, and because ours was like we had our junior memberships, it was like no one else could be in our queue, so it was almost like guaranteed to get in. But you seen loads of people that day, and it was absolute. Just the first time I'd seen it at Goodison Park, that mental. But there's no. You'll never see any evidence of that, though. You'll never see. Now, we've all got phones and we'd film it, we'd go, and you could stream it live, going, look how mad this is. But then there's no evidence of it, and there's hardly like, there's no evidence of anything that went on around that ground. And I was a kid, I just went straight home. I got on the bus and went straight home. I didn't stay out. There's no evidence of what happened. Just reading Dunk's book. And loads of the stuff of him, like saying, when I was in town and we did this and we did that. And it's like, there's hardly, you know, I was in this booze. Every week you could find me in a boozer in like Cancel Farm. Like, there wasn't any evidence of it. No one was going, no, you could find Dunk. Now, imagine that. Now you could never get away with that stuff. And we just live in a completely different world, don't we? So it's, now we can see the passion and we feel it all the time. But I imagine it was there then. But sadly, we just, it's undocumented, isn't it?
That the Bayern Munich ain't got off school and got home and, you know, queuing from ridiculously early in the afternoon and getting in, you know, unlike me, but being in the ground at like 5 o'clock or something, they opened the gates and you were in there, you know, and you pay to get in. I legged it right to the front, so I'm at the front. When Trevor Stevens scored, I'm to the, as the camera's looking at, to the left of the goals, Union Jack there with Everton, and I'm there, like, at that bit. It was amazing. The ground was full, like 6 o'clock or so. It was just bedlam, and outside was bedlam, and the passion was there. It's just not, like Pez just said, it's just not documented. But what the fans have done recently, when there's been nothing. No, we're talking the greatest night in Everton's history, probably there, the Bayern Munich game, aren't we? That's what we're talking about. Where we're now chatting about the Southampton game, the last ever game at Goodison, what the fans were like that day, crazy. Palace, when it's a relegation battle, what the fan... You know, these are moments that aren't... OK, Southampton last game at Goodison's a different thing, of course, but other times we've seen that passion is for games that is stupid. You know, trying to stay up and things like that, you know what I mean? And when you see the fans going home and away and nothing's happening, getting beat every week, we scored 2 games out of 11 under Sean Dyche before he got sacked, you know, things like that, and yet the fans are still there. Every game was sold out. So the fans are incredible, there's no doubt about it. But it's almost become... But it's almost become like a fevered thing of...
Yeah.
The coil gets tightened every year. We haven't won a trophy. There's no release. We want it. But the demand is there, and now it's up to the manager. It's up to the owners.
Just a quick one before I get off. And
go on. Go on. And right you are, because we want to go home.
Yeah, I know.
Go on, mate. Go on. Only messing. Go on.
All joking around. I had a junior Evertonian card. It cost me £3. I used to get in for £1.50.
Yeah.
And queuing up outside of Gladys Street, I got buttered by a police horse.
Oh. Yeah.
And they actually put me in the queue. Yeah. Anyway, listen, lads, it's been great talking to you.
Cheers, thanks.
Cheers. Take it easy, mate.
See you later.
See you later. Ta-ra.
Oh, I remember seeing a horse kick someone once on the Gladys Street, and I was just, when you just think, oh my God, how did you survive that?
You did after like dogs.
Yeah, that was my when I was a kid, when people talk fears, my fear was a horse kicking me.
He'd come over though, wouldn't he? And he'd be back and forth, and he'd be like trying to move the crowd.
But when I seen someone, oh my God, I was like, how do you survive that? Horrible.
There you go.
Right.
What a way to end the show. It's about horses webbing you. There you go. 2 things for you to look out for. The final word about Accrington.
Don't take it too serious.
No, it's just a chat about pre-season. That's it. But
it's more insightful than Mike Cosgrove doing the preview.
It was. Mike admitted he didn't know what to say. But also, Alan Harper, Inside the Game podcast is out as well. Loads of brilliant stuff about Everton. What a footballer he was, Zico. So check that out on the Inside the Game pod. It's a good one. That's available now as well. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you all tomorrow.
See you later. Bye.